across the Sunshine Coast. This is Win News.
Tonight, our hospital running out of Pfizer vaccines. Police fine a Nambour man for refusing to mask up. And the winners and losers of Noosa Council's budget. Good evening, welcome to Win News. I'm Lincoln Humphreys. Also tonight, Woodford's first residential estate to be built in more than a decade, ready to open. The brother of the COVID-infected casual hospital worker who sparked the Sunshine Coast and Noosa snap 3-day lockdown has also tested positive to the virus. The Queensland Government is urging those who can to get vaccinated, but the state could run out of supply as early as next week.
Day one of the Sunshine Coast lockdown, done and dusted.
I haven't come across hardly anybody without a mask. Probably half a dozen people. No, everybody else has had a mask. Businesses have had masks on. Yeah. We tried to support some local business.
But the orders to stay home unless for essential work and education, exercise, food and medicine or healthcare falling on some deaf ears. Dozens of beachgoers still soaking up the sun at Bulletin and plenty of shoppers strolling through Noosa's Hastings Street.
It is very disappointing. You know, the whole intention here is to try and give time for Queensland Health to trace this for us so it doesn't spread further.
Police are out in full force, with one Nambour man already slapped with a $200 fine for refusing to wear a mask.
One gentleman decided that it wasn't part of his beliefs that a mask should be worn. We attempted to work with that individual.
3 new locally acquired cases were recorded overnight, all close contacts of existing cases and are a low risk to the community.
One is the brother of that case, of the receptionist at the Prince Charles Hospital. So they became infectious on the 26th of June.
The Health Minister today warning the state is on the brink of running out of Pfizer COVID vaccines, with a request for an extra 152,000 doses knocked back by the federal government.
The 5th of July, next Monday. At some of our sites we are due to run out, and one of those sites being Sunshine Coast University Hospital.
The advice is for people aged 40 to 59 to get Pfizer and people 60 and over to get AstraZeneca. There has been no National Cabinet decision about AstraZeneca being given to under 40s.
They should follow the public health advice. That's clear on the ATAGI website that there is a risk for people under 60. That risk can be discussed with your GP.
Emily Steinhardt, Win News.
The lockdown couldn't have come at a worse time for our local restaurants, cafes and tourism operators, with school holidays now in full swing. Some are losing more than $100,000 a day, while others have been forced to close their doors entirely.
Empty and shut up shop fronts. The opposite of how Mooloolaba should look during the school holidays.
It's nice to see we've got quite a lot of takeaways still coming through, but it's still, it's very unusual not to see the people traffic coming through the area.
Phones at our hotels ringing off the hook since yesterday's announcement of the snap lockdown.
Welcome to Landmark Resort and Spa, this is Brett.
With cancellation after cancellation.
We've cancelled about $120,000 worth of bookings for July, which equates to about 175 individual bookings.
It's the news no one wanted to hear. The timing of another lockdown and restrictions right on school holidays is really hard to stomach.
The latest National Visitor Survey revealed the Sunshine Coast lost more than 66% of interstate visitors in the year ending March 2021 compared to 2020. And the winter school holidays are usually the peak season for those southern travellers.
Normally we rely on these few months or this quarter to give us a good boost for the rest of the year. We were 100% booked over the next few days, so we've been absolutely caned.
Urging locals to do their part to help them keep their doors open.
Continue to support us because we've still got to keep roofs over our head.
Emily Steinhardt, Win News.
Noosa Mayor Claire Stewart today handed down the Shire's budget with a surprise $300,000 surplus. There is a sting for certain ratepayers, however, after the controversial rise of short rental accommodation rates was given the green light.
A very different looking council meeting in the middle of Noosa's second ever COVID lockdown, meaning you couldn't see the smile on the mayor's face when announcing a $309,000 surplus.
It's been a tough year. Look at us now, we're still not out of it, but Noosa's resilient, and this budget has shown a great resilience, and it's really It comes down to fiscal and prudent financial management.
75% of ratepayers will see a jump in 1.5%, amounting to just over $44 a year, while the $47 million capital works program is front and centre.
We've got $7.5 million on replacing 4 or 5 bridges across the Shire. We've got an $8.8 million budget for the Taunton bypass. We've got the Karoi Hinterland playground. We've got $5.5 million in road reseal.
One of, if not the most talked about aspect of this budget is the proposed rates increase for owners of short-term holiday rentals. Now that increase was adopted today, a move council says is within the best interests of the community.
They've increased fees for those who are letting unhosted properties by close to up to 20% in some instances. How they can say that this is in anyone's interest, let alone the communities and their own, when they're trying to encourage tourism back, is beyond me.
Council believes full-time accommodation homes or close to it incur impacts on the community, which need to be accounted for.
Your mums and dads out there who want to rent out their homes to up to 60 days a year, they won't incur any rate increases. Similarly, if you have a home-hosted accommodation or a room in your house that you want to rent out, you can do that for up to 90 days.
Tim Klingner, Win News.
Heading north, Gympie Council also endorsed its new budget at a special meeting focusing on the maintenance and repair of ageing infrastructure, including a capital works program of $40.7 million, which will see upwards of $17 million spent on road and bridge maintenance. Residential ratepayers will face a maximum increase of 3.2%. The increase implemented with a view of returning council to a balanced budget and surplus in future years. This year's operational surplus is $60,000. Australians seeking social housing could find it harder in coming years as new homes fail to keep pace with overall housing builds. Welfare advocates say it's further proof we need more housing for our growing population.
A mixed bag from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare.
While there's been an increase in the number of social housing dwellings across Australia, there has actually been a decrease in the proportion of social households as a proportion of all households in Australia.
There are more than 400,000 social housing dwellings across Australia, with less than a third of those outside major cities.
Social housing in Australia includes public housing dwellings, community housing dwellings, state-owned and managed Indigenous housing dwellings, and Indigenous community housing.
Welfare experts are concerned by the report.
We're not seeing the kinds of growth in social housing that we need to see. What is most important for us is that there is just more social housing.
Advocates calling on governments to invest both in public housing and community housing projects.
They have lots of shovel-ready projects to roll out very quickly so that we can increase the numbers of houses that are available.
They say it's not just about helping the community, but boosting the economy as well.
We know that for every $1 million invested in social housing, there's a return to the economy of $1.3 million.
Eliza Watson, Win News.
The first residential development in a decade is about to open in Woodford. 45 lots will soon go up for sale. 600 square metre blocks will be on the market from just under $260,000. Construction at the site, which will be known as Hamilton Place, will start late next month, 800 metres from the closest local schools and shops. Scammers are cashing in on the COVID chaos, targeting vulnerable Queenslanders, exploiting everything from the vaccination program to our emails and social media. Experts say millions of dollars have already been lost to fraudsters this year, warning it's only getting worse.
Queensland's covert crooks, hiding behind a computer screen, stealing everything from your money to your identity.
They operate their businesses like a real business, so they have a team that's trying to work out what's the likely successful scam to run at this point in time.
LinkedIn, the latest platform to be targeted, with 92% of users' data, including email and physical addresses, full names and phone numbers, now up for sale on the dark net.
You can use that to effectively profile someone and build their identity.
Shockingly, 62% of Queenslanders have either been scammed themselves or know someone else who has been scammed.
Losing almost $20 million to scams already this year.
People are receiving, voice messages alluding to be law enforcement or the ATO or somebody else and preying on fear.
And experts are warning the situation could escalate as these criminals hone in on our COVID-19 vaccination program.
They will start to position either an opportunity for you to shortcut the queue or to get the vaccine personally. We've actually seen people selling the actual vaccines on the darknet.
And in an even bigger threat to public health,
we're seeing instances where people can buy effectively a card to say you've been vaccinated.
cybercrime experts urging Queenslanders to be on alert.
If you do receive a phone call, it's also a great idea to hang up and call the organisation that is calling you back directly, just to verify the authenticity of that call.
And if you think you might have handed over sensitive information to these coercive crims,
immediately contact your bank, because the sooner they know about this potential fraudulent activity, the sooner they can take action on your behalf and try and protect you.
Bridget O'Brien, Win News.
Still to come on Win News, a turtle returns home after weeks of rehab at Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital. And the Sunshine Coast Lightning relocates to Melbourne to keep the Super Netball season alive.
Has Kish made the wrong dish?
That kebab is
7:30 tonight on Win.
Hi, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. From the 1st of July, A Current Affair, and in fact all your favourite Channel 9 shows will be on Channel 80.
At Bunnings Trade, we help you get more out of tax time with great value on top brand tools like Bosch Blue 18-volt impact wrench, impact driver and hammer drill kits for just $199 each. Bunnings Trade, helping business is our trade.
What started with a passenger list led me to discover the incredible story of my great-great-great Aunt Mary.
There could be more to your story too. Piece it together with Ancestry.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands in Australia, looks after more than 1.8 million customers and can be found in over 500 locations nationwide. So try Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
We're doing everything we can to help you shop safe.
That's why we're doing extra cleaning.
Don't even leave your car with Click and Collect.
Or your house with contactless delivery.
Thanks for your understanding at this time. It's all to help you. Shop safe, add goods.
At Terry White Chemmart, we're here to help this winter. That's why pharmacists like Bridget are trained to administer flu vaccinations right here in store. Book now. Walk-ins also available. Terry White Chemmart. Now that's real chemistry.
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please.
Your change.
Happy birthday, Mum.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Powerball has jackpotted to $60 million. Are you keen? Well, first you have to play.
Play now in-store at thelot.com or on the Lot app.
The Nick Scarney half-yearly clearance has been extended. Hurry to save on quality furniture for your entire home. The Nick Scarney half-yearly clearance, extended and must end Sunday.
From trimmers to tractors, ride-ons, mowers, blowers and everything in between. Go with the Big Mower. Trusted family business for over 35 years. For small yards or big yards, see us at the Big Mower.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night, what were the
We find that building a home with tenants in mind ensures we have good long-term tenancies in place. Having a property sit vacant is a real fear for investors, so we offer a 3-year rental guarantee.
Royal Persian Carpet's massive rug sale. Prices reduced on lounge room sized rugs from $99, circle rugs from $50, shaggy rugs from $35. Huge selection of Persian rugs up to 3 by 4 metres. Royal Persian Carpet's Home Central Koana opposite Spotlight.
Are you going to take the vaccine?
Hell no.
We have underestimated the anti-vax movement.
One of the biggest frauds in the world.
Don't take the vaccine!
You guys are dangerous people.
Who is behind the anti-vax conspiracy? Tonight on Win.
An old sea turtle is back home in the Big Blue after undergoing rehab at Australia Zoo's Wildlife Hospital. Maggie was found in the ocean, unable to dive, suffering from floating syndrome, a condition caused by gas build-up after ingesting plastics or parasites. She was released into the ocean after weeks of care in the hospital. Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital has cared for more than 1,500 sea turtles since it opened back in 2004. A little-known disease is having a big impact on Queensland's cattle industry, costing it more than $100 million every year. Caused by tapeworms, the disease can even be passed on to humans.
A deadly disease hurting Queensland's cattle industry, often hiding in plain sight.
Unfortunately, there aren't really any symptoms in livestock. It's a silent disease.
Hydatid disease caused by tapeworm eggs is taking a huge bite out of profits. The impact's only identified after slaughter.
Financial loss to abattoirs was around $95,000 a year to the one abattoir that we looked at.
New research from Charles Sturt University revealing just how common it is.
We found that prevalence of hydatid disease is much higher than we thought it was, and it's much more widespread than we thought it would be. Prevalence in abattoirs is around 9%, but we actually found that it's a bit underreported in abattoirs, and it's actually probably more around 30%.
I travel a fair bit around Queensland, trucking cattle around, and I haven't seen anything or heard of anything.
And it's easily passed on to humans.
Humans can become infected from this disease. So it's really important that if people do have hydatid infected cattle, that they're vigilant to the fact that they might have domestic dogs that are infected or wild dogs that might be affected around their property.
While there's no cure, it's preventable.
Key one is deworming dogs with a product called praziquantel, and that's got to be given monthly.
Regina Lovick, WIN News.
Time for your sporting news with Melissa Russell. The Lightning have left the coast.
Yeah, that's right, Link. The Super Netball ladder leaders have fled a lockdown overnight. In a bid to continue the season, the league moved 5 teams to Victoria.
In the early hours of this morning, the Lightning scrambled to get out of the Sunshine Coast and southeast Queensland. The power brokers of Super Netball say they'll be based in Victoria for at least the next fortnight. In a statement today, Lightning CEO Danielle Smith acknowledged other clubs that have had to relocate throughout this pandemic, saying now it is our turn to go above and beyond for the sport we love so much. This weekend's game against the Vixens has officially been moved to John Cain Arena. It comes just a day after the Melbourne Storm left the region to return to Victoria.
Coming back, I think most people were quite happy about that. Obviously, it was a really rushed decision, I suppose.
For local elite and professional athletes, Queensland Sport has specified that training may occur without spectators and physical distancing observed to the extent possible. All other lockdown restrictions must still be observed at all times. The restrictions will be reviewed on Friday, so at this stage, most local community sporting fixtures will be going ahead this weekend until stated otherwise.
We'll monitor very closely, and we'll see what the Premier has to say about that. But look, it's fingers crossed.
Seb Higgins, George, WIN News.
The Falcons have named 3 massive inclusions for this weekend's blockbuster Queensland Cup match. Nathan Salmoalua will make his long-awaited return from injury at left centre against the Ipswich Jets. Marty Caldwell and Daniel Dole will also beef up the forward pack in round 12, which at this stage is still scheduled to go ahead in West Brisbane City. All 14 QRL clubs will be without their NRL players this weekend, with all contracted players restricted to stay-at-home orders. Tate McDermott is primed to take on the Wallabies' starting scrum half role against the French next week. With injuries to veterans Nick White and Jake Gordon, the Queenslander is the likely candidate to take on Australia's number 9 duties for the opening test in Brisbane.
I've been really comfortable. I've just been myself in this environment and not overstepping my mark, but also trying to impose a little bit of the stuff that I do at the Reds as well.
Suncorp Stadium is scheduled to host the series opener against the Blues in 7 days' time, but that could change pending southeast Queensland's lockdown situation.
Spanners being thrown and stuff like that, we're all pretty used to it. So I guess the biggest thing for us, we've just been preparing like usual for the French, and we've had 2.5 really good weeks of that.
Brisbane will also host the third test against the European heavyweights on July 17. Mooloolabah's Keely Andrew is aiming to recapture her championship tour form when the WSL moves to Mexico in August. The 26-year-old has managed to hold on to her top 10 spot in the women's CT despite a 9th place finish in the Surf Ranch Pro last week.
Travel so far and not get what I was hoping for, but yeah, I got a lot of positives to take away from that. I think that's probably some of the best surfing I've done on my back end to date.
Currently in quarantine in Sydney, Andrew will spend the next month on the Sunshine Coast training before travelling to Central America for the final leg of the year.
I could be gone anywhere from another month to another 3 months, so it's kind of get the time at home while you can and, yeah, prepare the best way possible.
The Mexico Open will start on August 10, with the tour then heading to Tahiti and wrapping up in Trestles in September. And Link, that is our night in sport.
That is good stuff, Mel. Thank you very much. Time for some more good stuff, hopefully, with the weather details coming up next with Chris.
At Carpet Court, we've matched the latest carpet, flooring and rugs to this season's must-have edits. And right now, you can earn triple Qantas points, both in-store and online. Carpet Court, triple Qantas points ends soon.
Maybe we could find ways to call time out on our kids' busy routines before they get sick. But if they do, Children's Panadol can start to reduce fever in just 15 minutes. Together, let's rethink care.
Let me guess. eBay Tuesdays?
Best day to save on heaps of things, like hair straighteners.
Wow, it's really straight. Look at that one.
When grabbing comfort food opens the door to germs, help protect your family with Pino Clean wipes. They kill 99.9% of viruses, including the flu virus. Be germ-wise this winter.
My wife and I always wanted to escape the city and move to a coastal location to enjoy the perks of living near the beach.
Bryn was only driving a short distance to work, so he decided to try Yui and saved $278.
We really wanted to give our children a different lifestyle, one that's a little bit more relaxed.
When your life changes, your insurance should too.
We'll be here for it.
Yui, you insured.
Ducks, hot water, built stronger to last longer.
Made in Australia for over 100 years, Ducks hot water systems are built stronger to last longer. Ducks.com.au.
Ducks.
Andy, can't stop, Ashwin. Loan application time.
Applying for a loan isn't as hard as you think. With an easy online application, ANZ GoBiz is the loan without the groan. Search ANZ GoBiz.
We have to go! We can't get back to the present to fix the past and save the future! All good, mate! It's just... we're still having our boat day! Hey! Romo's anytime try scorer! Yeah, got that! We just need the overs now! Righto.
Don't miss Sportsbet's new Bet with Mates. Start your group, bet together and share in the moment. Bet with Mates, new from Sportsbet.
The Nick Scarley half-yearly clearance has been extended. Hurry to save on quality furniture for your entire home. The Nick Scarley half-yearly clearance, extended and must end Sunday.
Nobody likes waiting, so why wait for your pay? With My Pay Now, you can access your wage early. Download the app to get started. My Pay Now, your pay today.
It's the final week of Bedshed's Stocktake sale. Mattresses, bedroom suites, kids' furniture and more. All up to 50% off at Bedshed. Hurry, ends Sunday. No one's better in the bedroom.
This report brought to you by Kick-Ass Outback Proof Gear, your 12-volt specialists.
Welcome back. It's been a very wet day to wrap up the month of June. The showers are looking to continue into the weekend as a broad cloud band with rain and storms makes its way over the region. Now, our weather photo tonight is from John, and John snapped a brilliant day at Point Cartwright. Nothing but blue sky there, John. Thank you very much. First, let's have a look at some rainfall totals in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. this morning. Now, the rain poured down over Picnic Point. 77 millimetres fell into the gauge there, and Nambour also receiving a decent 33 millimetres. On to some other details from today. Partly cloudy skies with those showers. Another wet day for Gympie, picking up about 8 millimetres of rain from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. Your Monday dropped down to 15 degrees this morning, couple warmer than the monthly average there. And blustery conditions in Caloundra this morning. A strong wind gust of 54 kilometres per hour at about 6:30. Now onto the charts. A surface trough in Western Queensland is shifting eastward across the state. A high over the Tasman will maintain a gradually weakening ridge over the east coast of Queensland for the next couple of days as it moves east. Let's check in with our coastal water forecast now. A high chance of showers out there, swells getting up to 2 metres. Over to our tides. Now, high tide for Mooloolaba tomorrow, 1:39 in the afternoon, and the low at 7:44 in the morning. To the forecast for you now, looking cloudy, a high chance of showers across the region. For Rainbow Beach, 14 to 21. 21 is also the top for Gympie. A little bit cooler for you Monday, 13 to 20 degrees, 18 at Maleny, and for Burrum, 20 is the max. Now for Maroochydore tomorrow, there will be showers up to 25 millimetres of rainfall possible. 21 degrees is the top. For our days ahead, Friday will be a wet and a rainy day. Saturday is looking similar. Up to 45 millimetres is possible at this stage. And then for Sunday, another shower or two. That's all for weather tonight. Be well and be safe. And Link, back to you.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for your company this Wednesday, June 30. From tomorrow, a new affiliation agreement begins between the WIN network and Nine. That means following all Australian news tonight at 11 p.m, stay with us for the Wimbledon Tennis Championship. In the morning, you'll catch all your favourite Nine programs right here on channels 8 and 80, starting with the Today Show from 5:30 a.m. and Today Extra at 9. You'll still be able to see all your local news on WIN News at the new time of 5:30 p.m, followed by 9 News with Andrew House and Melissa Downs at 6, and a current affair with Tracy Grimshaw at 7. We're looking forward to your company at 5:30 tomorrow night. Good night.
This has been a WIN News presentation. WIN News, regional Australia's #1 news source.